What is going on, guys? MrAeroHD here, and we are back with personal projects. And this week we have the Ford GT. I believe this was a fan requested car for something. I don't remember what series it was for, but I ended up making one a couple days ago just for fun, and before having seen the comment. And I figured this is the least I could do is feature it on personal projects, right? So before you're thinking, oh man, he's got a one of these overpowered. This car is under 650 horsepower. I think it's 649 on the nose. It's mid-engine, still rear wheel drive. I can't believe I can't say that properly half the time. And it's probably my favorite mid-engine car I've ever made. And I have several. I have NSXs, I have MR2s, I have Ferraris, I have Lamborghinis, and this is by far my favorite one. It handles 75% of the time like a front engine car, but the other 25% of the time it is a little bit unpredictable. It's probably one of my best cars that it's one of my favorite cars to use. I almost battled in this. I wasn't sure if the FMDL allowed mid-engine cars, so I opted for the R34. But this car is basically everything that I want in a drift car. It is a bullet, in the turns. Like this thing picks up speed like no other car that I have, aside from Porsches and stuff. But that's unbalanced in a Porsche, or a Rough, or a Roof, or whatever the fuck. It's unbalanced because you'll pick up speed really fast, but you can't get a lot of angle. It's a little bit unpredictable handling, but you trade that off for the speed. In this car, it doesn't feel like I kind of screwed up there. I was looking at the guy parked. In this car, there's no trade-off. The thing pulls enough angle as to where you can get as much as you want comfortably, but it's not like a Supra or something where you could feel like you can continually push the boundaries. This thing, you have your boundaries, you have them set, and don't surpass them because it's kind of difficult to pull back from stupid angles. If you do, you just get lucky. I never feel like I'm fully in control while I'm going for like backwards entries or something. If I ever do, it's a complete accident. The thing's fast. It handles really well. It doesn't. I don't have to strain myself like more. Like it's only like a little bit of a bother in terms of the handling department. But like compared to other mid-engine cars where you're constantly clutch kicking and you're constantly trying to keep the thing sideways, I had a little bit of a problem on this track with the longer turns, but it was a little bit of a problem. It wasn't like a huge problem, and I'm sure if I worked on my driving a little bit, then it wouldn't be. I wouldn't have a real problem with it at all. And it looks great. It sounds awesome. It's probably one of my favorite American V8s in the game, sound-wise. It sounds like it revs up just a little bit higher than the rest of them. Like I said, it handles well. It gets a decent amount, more than decent. It gets a fair amount of angle. It just doesn't feel super great. Like when I'm at that much angle, like I always feel like, oh well, here we go. But I was never sure. But it still pulls enough, and the thing's a bullet. Like I said, I love the look of this car. Ford GT is probably one of my favorite American cars of all time. I like it look visually a little bit more than the actual GT40. There, it's just because I got my rear tires on the thing. I can usually do that, but then the engine's in the back now, so that probably upset everything. It's a little bit expensive to build. I think it's like 100-some thousand credits to buy, and then it's probably going to be like, if depending on your Ford Affinity, it's going to be expensive to build. But this thing is a great time. I need to tweak it a little bit more. I got to shorten the fourth gear. Fourth gear is a little long. The third gear is fine, but the fourth gear needs to be a little bit tighter. Maybe raise the tire pressure in the rear by like a pound or 2 pounds, and this thing will be set. And I'm comfortable enough that I would use this car in battles. So if you ever wanted to check out mid-engine drifting and you ever wanted to use a mid-engine car, I really suggest you go try this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.